it's, you know, me gradually getting back on my feet, gradually trying to understand or fight an invisible battle inside of my head. Like, most days my head is like, okay, Erica, let's do this. Let's get it together. We're gonna knock this and this out. And, you know, I have every intention on doing it, but it's like another side of myself and my body is just like, no, I just want to sleep. No, I don't feel like doing that. No, we don't need to do that. It's not going to work out. It's literally something in my head that is holding me back and pushing me forward at the same time. Of course, I did tell you guys that when I notice I get like a lot of different pressures doing certain videos where it's going to follow me through, you know, certain aspects. And this week definitely is one of those weeks that I really didn't want to do. You know, my husband kind of talked me into doing it. And this is day 4 of what was a very up and down week for me. So it's about 7:30. I finally ended up laying down around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Only got about like an hour of sleep. I couldn't sleep. I just sat up like kind of pacing because my mind was kind of like all over the place. But my medicine never really kind of calmed me down. But I'm about to get up for work, which I do have to log in by 8 o'clock. But I guess I'm going to try to get dressed, but I don't really feel like it. But I'm probably just going to lay here for like another 10 minutes. Just wanted to check in and let you guys know what's been going on so far. And I guess I'll be back in a little bit. So I am up. I did not feel like getting dressed. Kind of like just about to get some coffee or an energy drink or some sort just to kind of like pep me up just a little bit. But it's always like super hard trying to figure out what exactly is going to help. Like yesterday I wanted to tape, but I really just couldn't like muster up anything to do it. So today is kind of like just gonna take you through like what I'm feeling like. This is probably, I want to say, like my second like day in a row where I guess I just didn't feel right. But I kind of feel like I'm coming down off of the hill a little bit, because yesterday was just like really bad. Like I just felt like super like not myself, and it was like really crazy because I honestly like didn't expect it to happen. But it all literally just started like after I was kind of like getting my mail, and I was like looking at the mail, and I had like a lot of medical bills and things. And like it's really crazy because like I'm really set in my mind where I kind of have everything in a situation or like a compartment, and I'll literally be okay. Like I'll be like handling everything and everything will be fine. And then it's just like sometimes there's like a switch that flips in my brain, and all of a sudden it just like cascades into like anxiety. And then like if I don't catch it fast enough, then I start feeling like this. And this is like kind of like where it all comes in. But you know, today I'm actually up. Today I'm actually trying to do stuff. Like I feel like I'm almost just doing it because I have to at this point, not because I want to. But it's like in my brain I want to, but my body is just so like lack, and it's just literally a battle in my brain between laying down and just going to sleep and actually wanting to do anything. So I'm just gonna like fight my other instincts in my head. Like right now I'm just gonna like try to stay motivated. I'm going to make sure that I'm just like keeping myself as busy today as possible, trying to, I guess, jug myself back. So I woke up today and I still feel like kind of disconnected in a weird way. I had panic attack last night because I guess I was just like so like consumed with like a lot of thoughts, so I didn't really get great sleep. And I'm just here at work at the time being, but I'm not here at work. I didn't even get dressed today. I just didn't feel like getting dressed, but I did take my medicine, and I'm kind of just like waiting for it to kick in. But usually when it kicks in, I get like super tired, but you know, kind of just rocking out until then and just trying to stay motivated to do anything. But this really like sucks because on the inside I really want to do stuff, but it's almost like my outside doesn't want to do anything. You know, I do realize that when, you know, certain things happen around my life at one time, big events or, you know, a lot of bills at one time, I do find myself getting a little overwhelmed. But then it's kind of like you have to snap yourself out of it as much as you can, or stay focused on one thing at a time. You know, even with these clips that I'm showing you from, you know, my week, it's just a snapshot of what really happens. It's literally just what I could even muster up to do. I'm gonna say 12, 13, I was diagnosed with panic and anxiety disorder. Back then it was kind of like a whole bunch of like just panic attacks. It was just stuff that kind of happened whenever it wanted to. So I guess I had a lot of different kinds of feelings that I didn't talk about out loud. So that kind of developed, you know, when I couldn't express myself, I would kind of hold things in and I would start hyperventilating and, you know, have a panic attack. And I went through that for a really long time, like especially in high school. It was really hard, like trying to understand what was happening and why it was happening, especially when I tried to prevent it. Like I would try to go out and have fun and, you know, not worry about certain things. But, you know, when I would get kind of overwhelmed or not knowing how to do certain things, or if I put too much on my plate, like I was doing sports, I was doing school, I had a job since I was like 12. So it was a lot of different things going on. And I guess managing all of it at once without actually managing myself, it turned into something a lot worse as I got older. And when I got to high school, it was like a lot of pressure. So I also suffer with a thyroid disorder. So I have Hashimoto thyroiditis, and I've had it ever since I was a child. But I wasn't diagnosed with that until I was about 10. And as I got older and hormones started to build up in my body, my thyroid doesn't regulate everything the way that it's supposed to. So performing sports, school, work, you know, for my parents, and then right before 11th grade, I realized I was almost having a panic attack every other day. And it would kind of like be something where I would kind of disappear for like a few minutes, but then I would come back trying to put on like this face of, oh no, I'm fine. But on the inside, I'm crying, being overwhelmed. And a lot of people kind of feel like as a teenager, you shouldn't feel so overwhelmed, which is crazy because let's be honest here. As a teenager, you have a lot of pressure. Do good in school, be involved, you know, dating or not dating, or your parents trying to make sure that you're doing the right thing, but you don't know what the right thing is, or even just trying to experience life as a teenager, because I feel like at that time you want to get to know who you are as a person, and you're surrounding yourself with different kinds of people trying to keep up. And I feel like being a teenager was kind of hard a little bit. And I'm saying that as an adult. So, you know, when kids come up to you and they kind of tell you some things, be a little bit more receptive. My problem was I probably didn't express myself the way that I wanted to let anybody know anything, because I didn't want to look weak. I didn't want to look like something was wrong with me, or express that, you know, I might have needed some extra time, or that I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to look like everybody else expected me to. I wanted to look like I could handle things. And I could have possibly, you know, handled things if I would have did things on my time and not other people's time. And, you know, as an adult now managing, I'm realizing that if I want to get something done, I have to realize that I can get it done, but I have to make sure that I'm doing it on my time and not what I feel like everybody else's time is. Like, college was probably the worst. I wanted to get away, I guess, to try to see if that would make me feel better. But, you know, where there's good, there is a little bit of bad. I went away, I went to college. I had every intention on doing well. And, you know, I guess not doing so much growing up, I did everything then. So it was like I got into some stuff that I shouldn't have gotten into, all while dealing with my anxiety. And I thought that partying and, you know, being with people that I wasn't supposed to be with, or, you know, kind of following the crowd a little bit, was going to make me feel better. It was almost as if I thought that doing something that everybody else did that felt good was going to make me feel good, to where I kind of fell into a really dark hole at one point, and I was self-medicating and, you know, just drinking a beer or chilling, waiting for everything to kick in. And then that became an issue in itself, to the fact that I probably was taking at least 4 pills a day, trying to keep myself above water and not having a panic attack or feeling overexcited about things. And where I thought I was coming out of a hole, I was digging myself deeper and deeper into a hole where I fell into depression. I felt so disconnected. I didn't feel like anything. I felt like an empty hole that was just moving day to day. I didn't really so much laugh. I didn't really talk and have feeling behind it. It was just a cue that my brain gave me. Like, oh, you're supposed to laugh now. Or, oh, make sure that you smile a little bit so they don't think of anything. Because, again, I didn't want to look like anything was wrong with me. I didn't want to bring any extra attention to myself. At this point, I had already messed up my freshman year, and I was back again for my second year. But I really felt like going back was going to do something better, almost like I had to prove something to myself, like I could do something better this time that I didn't do last time. Instead of saying, oh, maybe you should stay home and get yourself together, it was, no, chin up, make sure that you do something different. Do something different. Go back and prove yourself wrong, prove everybody else wrong, that you're not a screw up. And I feel like that was the wrong thing to do, if not the worst thing I could have done. I could only do better by overloading myself even more. I ended up picking up more jobs. Like, I was working and I was going to school instead of just going to school and focusing on school. And then I was still partying. I was still self-medicating. I was trying to upkeep bills that weren't getting paid because I was too busy spending it on, you know, my habit or alcohol. And I was going out instead of studying because I wanted to feel better. And I ended up falling back in the same habits, which dug me deeper and deeper into this hole, to where I didn't even know where the surface was anymore. And it got so bad where I was relying on relationships and things, where I was putting on such a brave face for so long, I didn't even know what my real feelings were anymore. Like, I legit lost myself to the point where I didn't even know who I was, or what I wanted, or what I wanted to pursue. They got married at such and such years old. Oh, they're on their second baby. I want to have babies so bad. Oh, they bought a house at 22 and I'm 25 and I flunked out of college. all of that probably made my life hell, to say the least, until realizing that I had an issue and correcting things as I go definitely helps me out a lot more. Coming out of that was so hard, to where when I came back home in 2017, I was so far gone that I didn't know what to do with myself. I just knew I had to work and I had to dig myself out of debt and try to find some kind of way to get back to school, or if I wanted to even do school. I was so depressed with everything and how far it had gotten, to where I guess I was just faking it until I made it. Honestly, it was a whole bunch of, I'm going to do this to see how I feel, but on the inside I don't feel like anything. And I really didn't even start to feel anything until after I started dating my husband. And then I started going to therapy, and I started taking my medicine the way I was supposed to. But me managing has become a little bit easier as an adult because, one, I make sure I write everything down. I don't keep everything up in my head. I have, a corkboard calendar on my walls. I have an agenda book. I have, reminders in my phone. I have things that remind me of what I need to get done. But I also make sure that, number two, I do it on my time. I also keep a affirmation book. So it's just a little diary that I have. I think I had got it with like a set that I got from Fenty. And it's just something that every day I write in, even if it's just affirmations reminding myself, like, you are smart, you are kind, you are strong, you will get over this, you will have this, you will do this. Like, it's just, if I'm not writing that, I'm, just writing down like my feelings, how I felt that day. That also helps. I usually spend time with people, like in the time of COVID, the only people I can really spend time with is like, my parents and my siblings, because I see them every day, or, sitting down and watching a movie with Dan and Preston, or even just like playing around with my daughter is therapeutic now. And I have like different outlets to, I guess, make me feel better, that you can have these things going on in your brain, but you can still get over it. So I do know all of those thoughts, that kind of make you feel like you shouldn't say anything, or you don't want to say anything, or you feel like it'll be okay eventually, you just have to get through it. Don't do it by yourself, honestly. And don't think that there's anything wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Just getting back in the right mindset and kind of reminding yourself that everything will work out. Everything will be okay. You're going to get over everything as long as you get help. Talk to somebody. If you're not big on therapy, I really wasn't either, till I realized how awesome it really was. You just have to want to understand what's going on. You won't know anything until you say something. And I want to tell people that are watching this, that kind of have your own thoughts about what people like me go through, or people that is you can't tell somebody that they only feel like this because of something you think. Everybody isn't wired the same. Everybody doesn't have the same thought process as you. And, having those thoughts of, oh, you're just lazy, or, oh, it's all in your head. Yeah, it basically is all in our head, and that's the issue. And there's a way to be supportive without being judgmental. There's a way to tell people that you'll be okay without making them feel like they're the reason why they feel that way. There's a lot in this world that make people feel the way that I do, where you can help them out of it without making them feel bad about it at the same time. It's something I'm dealing with. It's something that I'm learning how to live with. It's something that I'm overcoming in my life. And I definitely am happy that I finally shared this, you know, with others, because this is something definitely that helps me understand that it's not going to define me as a person. It's not going to make anything worse. It's only going to make me better. And I love and respect and appreciate everybody that's been there with me on this journey. People that I know that I can go to for anything, for conversations. I just want people to see, like, even if it's just a piece of things that, you know, I have to go through, even when I feel like I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it. So I hope, you know, this episode definitely shed some light on, you know, how this is for certain people. And I hope that it kind of opens your eyes to understand, one, how to be supportive, or two, to understand that it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to not pursue or do things that everybody else is doing at that time. You will get whatever you want. You will have the energy. You will have the passion. You will still create the future that you want. You just have to understand that you do it on your own time. And whatever it is, the obstacle that you're going through, it's not going to define you. You just have to live with it, overcome it, and incorporate it. As you all know, at the end of every video, I did say that I wanted to shout out Black businesses that I support. This week, I'm actually doing two. The first one I am doing is POISONDRIP. This is by a very good friend that I have in South Carolina. His name is CHAVIS. He made this to pay homage to mental health. And obviously, it goes great with the theme of my video this week. I will be putting all of his website information below in the video link, and definitely check out his website. He has face covers, he has long sleeves, short sleeves, he has sweatshirts, everything. Definitely go support. The second one that I'm going to be shouting out this week is Styled by DESTARR. When I say this woman is the jack of all trades, I swear. She does hair, makeup, she makes her own candles, t-shirts, she does lashes, everything. I am shouting her out this week because her candles are probably one of the main things that keep me sane in my apartment. You guys, I definitely hope that you got something out of this week. I appreciate every single last one of you. And, you know, I take positive and negative criticism. So I still like to see what you guys are thinking, you know, especially on the outside looking in. Some people do know about, you know, what I deal with on a day-to-day. I do know that I need to manage it a little bit better. Sometimes I just disappear, and I realize that that's not always good. But, you know, either way, let me know how this made you feel. Let me know what you guys expect. Definitely send me any kind of like suggestions as well. You know, just definitely let me know, and I'll definitely see you guys back next week. Thanks, guys.